We're going to wind the clock back here right to the start where it all began, with these initial sessions I was doing in the gym to help regain my fitness and improve the function in my arm. All of these early sessions were complemented heavily with the use of the swimming pool, which I found most helpful right at the start. The pool took the weight of my arm off the shoulder and provided help supporting my ability to perform the movements and stretches. In the first 3 months I was very much finding my feet again, just going to the gym and re-familiarising myself with the equipment and the changes in my body. Although this time was arguably the toughest when it came to the level of physical discomfort, this type of discomfort far outweighed the mental anguish of doing nothing at all and not trying to improve my situation. Here you will see I took time to strap my hand using the supports I had, engage my arm and shoulder to the extent of its range, whilst working on the strength I had in the rest of my body. Working on the ability to grip was an early focus of mine. The intrinsic muscles in my hand were still active down undamaged nerve pathways, and therefore fair game to train and improve whilst help bringing back function to the rest of my arm. As you can see here in the right hand video, the support I was using on my upper arm was there to help keep the shoulder supported by pushing the head of the humerus into the glenoid fossa of the scapula. This ball and socket joint in my shoulder required a decent level of support early on, because the muscle atrophy was at its greatest and the potential risk from additional stress was at its highest. From about the 4-month mark, I was starting to work my way around training again, using similar movements to what I did before. In this example here, I was using an adaptation of the single arm row, building back towards the ability to deadlift once again. One of my main focuses, alongside re-innovation of my arm, was to bring back the functional strength to the rest of my body. For this I worked on all the large muscle compound movements, adapting them accordingly, as you will see here. At about the 6-month mark, I was experimenting with deadlifting once again, using an adapted strap. This was an industrial lifting strap, looped around the bar and over my shoulders. My right hand had minimal grip, but was always placed on the bar to encourage it to get involved. In the right hand video, I was using an active hand support to help grip the bar and promote its inclusion in the exercise. 9 months down the line, my grip was starting to become more functional. It was here where I started to take advantage of this and building complementary strength work for my compound moves. The squat and deadlift were very important to me early on, as I knew their role in building a solid foundation for strength and conditioning. Here I used kettlebells to improve my grip and strengthen my shoulders. I used shrugging and circular type moves to activate the muscles I had in my shoulder. At 11 months I was starting to build back a decent base of strength. I used lower reps, heavier weights and longer rests, as well as higher reps with lighter weights and shorter rests. I always ensured I had a clear focus on the movement being performed and concentrated on the contracting muscles. I have found this strategy useful not only for this rehabilitation process, but also for the sports and general conditioning that I have done in the past. It's worth noting here that the use of the strap was hampering ideal form, but it allowed a strong movement to take place nevertheless. I was fit and strong before, and this was the goal again. I found it helped to focus my attention on the feel of the movement, even if the movement itself was not complete. This improved my mind and muscle connection. It's worth noting here that the selected weight or overload at every stage of the rehabilitation or training process was the same. Always enough to bring about the desired training stimulus, no more no less, but always keeping in mind the end goal of improving my strength and function. I would always take time to complement compound sessions such as a deadlift with focus sessions on the supporting muscles. Here I was performing unilateral movements for muscle balance. By using the Bosu ball in this manner, it further increased the proprioceptive feedback and the awareness of my movement. At about the 15-month post-operation mark, the strap was starting to come off during the deadlift and the movement was coming back together as a whole. Now the strap had disappeared, I could narrow my stance a little and connect with the bar better. This took another variable out of the equation and pieced the movement back together nearer its entirety. And that brings us back where we started, just past the 2-year mark. I continue to get stronger as we speak and complement standard deadlifts with many variations using grip straps and not. Compound movements are king and they have delivered me back much of my strength and fitness to this date. If you can move it, you can use it, and if you can use it, you can train it. Adapt where you can and listen to your body. Thanks for taking time to watch.